I still remember the way the room inhaled when my sister stood up at my wedding reception. Forks paused midair, laughter thinned, even the string lights above us seemed to flicker. Like they sensed something was about to break. She tapped her glass with a spoon, smiling too brightly, the way she always did when she wanted attention, but didn't want to look like she was asking for it. My new husband squeezed my hand under the table, unaware. I squeezed back, already knowing. I just wanted to share some happy news, she said, placing her hand over her stomach. I'm pregnant. The room erupted. Cheers, gasps, applause. Someone screamed congratulations. My mother started crying immediately. Like this was a miracle she'd been waiting for her entire life. And me? I smiled, not the stiff, shocked smile people expected. Not the polite one brides give when something goes wrong on their day. I smiled calmly, warmly, as if this was all part of the plan because it was. Growing up, my sister had a way of stepping into the center of every room, every moment, every milestone. When I got into college, she announced she was moving in with her boyfriend. When I got promoted, she suddenly needed a celebration dinner for her engagement. When I told my parents I was getting married, she cried for 3 days because no one asked how she felt about it. My wedding had been the first thing that was truly, undeniably mine, and she couldn't let that stand. So when she stood up that night, glowing and triumphant, I let her have it. I watched her soak in the attention. I watched my mother rush to her side. I watched guests turn their chairs, bodies angled away from me, toward her. Then I stood up too. I lifted my glass, still smiling, and waited until the noise softened. My sister glanced at me just briefly. There it was, that flicker of irritation. She hadn't planned for this. I'm so glad you shared that, I said, my voice steady. Light? Because timing really is everything. The room quieted completely. I turned toward her, still smiling, still calm. You see, I found out something about my sister just a few months ago. Something she's known for a long time. She laughed nervously. What are you doing? I tilted my head. I found out that she's been telling people she couldn't have children. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. My mother froze. She told her parents. I continued gently. That doctor said it would never happen, that she was devastated, that she needed extra support. My sister's face drained of color. But funny enough, I said, taking a slow sip of champagne. She told me something very different. She told me she was pregnant for months ago, and that she planned to announce it tonight because she didn't want me to have all the attention. Silence fell like a dropped plate. My sister opened her mouth, then closed it. My mother's eyes started between us, confused, betrayed. I didn't say that, my sister whispered. I reached into the small clutch I'd been carrying all evening, the one she'd mocked for being too plain, and pulled out my phone. I didn't think anyone would believe me, I said softly. So I saved everything. I tapped the screen once, then turned it outward, projecting the messages onto the large slideshow screen behind us, the same one that had just finished, displaying photos of our first dance. Her words filled the room. I'll announce it at your wedding. That way no one can ignore me. Mom will lose her mind. She always does. It's not like it's stealing. You already had the ceremony. Gasps. Someone covered their mouth. My mother sank back into her chair. I looked at my sister then, really looked at her. She was shaking, eyes glossy, caught between anger and fear. I smiled. I said quietly, because I knew this moment was coming. I knew you'd do exactly what you always do. I turned back to the room. So yes, she's pregnant. And yes, that's wonderful, but I think tonight should also be about honesty. My husband stood beside me then, his hand firm at my waist. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. His presence was enough. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, I said, meeting my sister's eyes one last time. Because this is the last time I'll be covering for you. I raised my glass to new beginnings. The applause that followed was hesitant, uneven, but real. Some guests avoided my sister's gaze, others stared openly. My mother didn't clap at all. Later that night, after the music resumed and the damage had settled into something heavy and permanent, my sister tried to corner me near the exit. You humiliated me, she hissed. I smiled again, softer this time. No, I told the truth. You just chose the wrong stage. She left early, so did my parents. But I stayed, I danced, I laughed, I held my husband close under the dimming lights. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was standing in her shadow. I felt free. And as the night ended, I realized something quietly powerful. Revenge doesn't always look like anger or shouting. Sometimes it looks like patience, like preparation, like letting someone reveal exactly who they are in front of everyone they hope to impress. If you want to hear more stories like this, stay close. There's always another truth waiting.